Good morning, friends. Welcome back to the Poplar Report. We have a major escalation in the Ukrainian war. Some in NATO now calling for NATO troops to deploy immediately. We need to update you on the situation there. Also, we're going to cover attacks on ballots inside the United States, and we have an insider warning on some Medicare services that are going to disappear at the end of this year. You're not hearing that anywhere else just yet. We got egg shortages coming back. It looks like they're about to get worse. We'll tell you why. And what is up with Campbell soup? We're getting reports all over the place that Campbell soup sections are being shrunk dramatically. Why are they disappearing? We got that and more on today's update. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates that you guys are sharing about what's going on out there in the world. News updates to keep you informed on what's going on without the bias that you get in the media. We got a lot to talk about, so if you have an update, please use the word update somewhere in your comment. It can be on this video or an end video on this channel. That gets it to the right place. And make sure you give some sort of geographical location if it's relevant to the topic. Before we dive in, we do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. A lot of you guys have heard a lot about Genesis Gold Group. You've heard a lot about gold IRAs, gold retirement plans. The question is what is holding you back? If you have questions, if you have some interest, but you don't want to dive all the way in, that's fine. We can set you up so that you can have a phone call with them. And then if you're not interested, you don't have to move forward with them. There's no pressure, just education. And if it's a good fit for you and you decide to move forward, if you do call them directly, make sure you mention this channel so they waive the setup fee. But I'm going to post their phone number down below in the comment, the pinned comment. So if you want to call them and just chat with them, go for it. And then if you decide to move forward, you can give them your information later. All right, friends. Larkin, Portland, Oregon, and now in my town across the river in Vancouver, Washington. Ballot boxes destroyed by fire. Now, some of you have already heard about these already. But let's think through the implications here real fast. Just two so far, but double check your ballot pickup times. So you can probably shouldn't drop off the ballots until the pickup time is, real soon. You don't want to do it too far out in case there's attacks like this in your area. Best to do it actually not at a drop-off location too, but to do it in person. Those are better, and that is the recommendation. Vote in person if possible. Use drop boxes if you have to, but definitely a bunch. We're talking hundreds of ballots were lost in these fires. Why is that happening? Chaos, friends. We talk about it. Chaos is coming, and when people don't get their way, especially these kind of people, you know that chaos is coming. All right, well, over 200,000 Washington Post subscribers, and here's us crying over this, have canceled their subscriptions. Washington Post is an absolute liberal rag, right? Totally slovenly, devoted to the Democratic Party. Everything comes from a liberal leftist mentality. Jeff Bezos decided not to endorse a presidential candidate this time around. Their presidential candidate this time around. So 200,000 people have canceled their subscriptions. It's delicious. Let's just say it that way. And it has given courage to other newspapers to totally ditch the Special K as well. USA Today has also decided to follow suit. Hopefully they lose a whole bunch of subscribers too. That would be fantastic. Up till now, we're now seeing that 46 million people have voted inside the United States. So there are opportunities to vote early in a lot of places. If you can, go for it. There are places where you can get your absentee ballot and then you can immediately deposit that. So effectively voting in place. Different laws, different states. Check with your preferred political party for information or your local elections board for the most accurate information for your area. All right. We now have confirmed reports coming from NATO that North Korean troops are in direct combat now against Ukrainian troops in Russia. Now, they have not, as of now, we haven't heard reports that the North Koreans have moved into Ukraine, but rather they're staying inside Russia and they're fighting that invasion into Russia. But they are in direct combat now against Ukrainians, which is a major escalation. We've had a number of congressmen out there saying that United States and NATO need to look at deploying troops in response to this, and some others within NATO calling for immediate troops to be deployed to Ukraine from NATO countries. Major concerns, let's just put it that way, that this is going to escalate dramatically. This is a report from Janessa. I mentioned this about the Medicaid and Medicare. Update, I was told in a meeting that HBS or Medicaid waiver and Medicare, home-based services will stop, with MCO, United Healthcare, and possibly others like Molina, WellPoint, and Community First in at least it looks like in just a few states so far, but she's only confirming in a few states. It could be much more widespread than that. She says, I hate universal health care. They are constantly overriding controlled substances, challenging pharmacists' decisions. I've worked for Optum for years, and I'm looking for another job. A lot of people in the medical field are just fed up with all of this garbage that's been going on. And it's becoming harder and harder to find doctors, primary care doctors, even specialists, because doctors are just retiring early. They're getting out. Nurses are quitting because they don't want to put up with all this nonsense anymore. It's moving in the wrong direction for sure. It's getting harder to get medical care. One thing that you can consider, if you haven't ever considered this before, make sure you have a passport, because there are a lot of good medical services available in other countries, whether you go just down to Mexico or whether you go to places further afield where things are much, much cheaper. The larger the procedure that you need to get done, if you go to some place like India, if you go to some place like Thailand, you can get medical USA trained doctors in these places. People who actually did their residencies inside the United States, went to American universities, but now that they're working over in Thailand or India or someplace like that, they charge a whole lot less over there. So you can get some 4 and 5 star accommodations at these hospitals. It's absolutely ridiculous what you can do, but make sure you have a passport so you can get over there and look into your options, do your research. George says, Sunday, my sister in Michigan who works at Walmart sent me this message. Quote, egg shelves almost completely empty due to some new rule that eggs have to be cage-free. This is in Michigan. Now, we've seen that in California, and we've seen that across the West Coast, but we haven't seen that in Michigan. New rule that eggs have to be cage-free. This is something the FDA is doing at Walmart, I think. Lack of eggs are supposed to start end of December. So, not sure exactly what's being referenced there, but apparently at Walmart, they're discussing that there's going to be increased egg shortages coming up. Now, we've had, 2.8 million egg-laying hens put down in the last couple weeks. So we have a lot of egg-laying hens that are going to need to be replaced in the short term. So it's definitely not going to get better, at least immediately, but it may actually get a little bit worse just from the cullings. And then we also have a lot of other issues happening out there too. Lincoln Maniac says, parts to assemble Black Freedom Seed dispensers, if you know what I mean, boomsticks and such. These parts are at an all-time low. May not be banned, but they are getting harder to get, and that can effectively be the same thing. Hopefully you are stocked up in all those things. If you have some boomsticks, make sure you have some interchangeable parts and such, especially the parts that wear and tear significantly. Definitely look into that. Barbara says, yes, in southern Ohio, our soup aisles in all stores have been made a lot smaller. Lots of varieties missing. And we're getting a few reports on this for sure. OB says central Pennsylvania. So that was Ohio. This is now central Pennsylvania. Comment to person who reported on cuts in the soup aisle at Walmart. I was there this past Friday and noticed cuts as well, most noticeably with the Campbells, but whole soup section was shrunk. MKey says upstate New York, Finger Lakes region. We were in a Walmart yesterday, and as you had said, the Campbell's soup section has shrunk from about 12 to 15 feet to 4 feet with less variety. Now, I did get one report out there. I wasn't able to verify it in any way, so take this with a grain of salt. Someone said that they heard some reports out there that the federal government has seized a large amount of Campbell's soups. Now, I know some of you guys believe that the government is squirreling away in tunnels somewhere a whole bunch of food. Some of you suggest that food recalls are being diverted to the federal government. I can't confirm any of those things, but if the Campbell soup is disappearing, you know, there's the obvious question of where is it going? We're not hearing reports of factories being idled. We're not hearing reports of Campbell's factories being shut down. So if they're still manufacturing Campbell soup, then where is it going? I think that's a legitimate question. And there are only so many purchasers out there that could buy that much up. Solotap says, update, the TB infection has turned bad in Louisiana. We've been reporting this as well. Patient zero TB, who came from Dragon country and did so in a less than legal way. Patient zero TB has spread to multiple refugee holding facilities. Oh, people who are about to be dispersed and spread out across the United States. What could possibly go wrong? Who knows how many other places it has spread through on the way from California to Louisiana. Personally, my skepticism is seeing a red flag, like maybe it's just my theory, but what if this could be a form of biological warfare, but with living people? Well, that's how biological warfare works. It's horrible to think about, but it has been done in history. TB. TB is generally not terrible if you are healthy, generally. But once you get TB, it will embed itself into your skin, into the layers of your skin. And so that's why when you get treated for TB, you have to take the antibiotics basically for, I think it's like 6 months, because all those skin layers have to, peel off and be eradicated, or else it just kind of hides in your skin. And then when you get a weak immune system, it flares up and takes you out. TB is a nasty, nasty disease out there. It is treatable, but it's a problem treating it. And with drug-resistant TB out there, that means that the normal types of antibiotics won't work on it, and so it's much more difficult to treat. Stay healthy. Don't get infected, and if you do, seek treatment, proper treatment, and make sure you follow through on all your doses. Survivalist Grandpa says, update, Steve. My local Walmart here in Southwest Missouri has one small end cap freezer full of turkeys, 2 long freezers full of various sizes of hams, though. The shortage is definitely here. We are hearing some spotty reports of turkey outages or low turkey supplies. Mickey says, no turkey in Walmart at High Point, North Carolina. Now, like I said, these are spotty reports. We're not hearing widespread reports as of this time. All we're saying right now is that we've seen that production of turkey is down dramatically from last year, 6 to 10%. Compared to last year. So it means that some people aren't going to get turkeys, or people who don't really want turkeys or don't need turkeys aren't going to get them for Thanksgiving. So get your turkey early. Make sure that you get yours locked in before you get too close to Thanksgiving. People who wait until the last minute are going to be the ones that are probably going to get short end of the stick, right? Prepper Dale says, Du Bois, Pennsylvania. 32-ounce block cheese in short supply of all varieties. Swiss cheese in all forms, especially hard to find. We've been talking about that. The block cheese, for some reason, is becoming an issue. So if you want block cheese, make sure you grab it. I don't know if this has to do with the fact that the shredded cheese has more of has some of the chemicals in there in order to keep it from clumping up, whereas the block cheese doesn't have that, or I don't know what's going on with all that, but just be aware that those are the reports that we're getting out there. If you have something to share, make sure you use the word update in your comment. Thank you all who are contributing and being a part of this community. So proud to have you guys all along for the ride. I am on I just passed the 100-kilometer mark yesterday, and so counting down the days to get to Santiago de Compostela, and then I will be heading back to the United States. I'm looking forward to being back in my home country, where restaurants are open more than a few hours a day, and where they have screens on windows. It's gonna be fantastic. So I look forward to seeing you guys all. But if you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold Group, like I said, I put that in the pinned comment down below, their phone number there. If you want to fill out a form and have them contact you, there's a link right there on the screen. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up there. Thanks so much for watching. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report out.